welcome back to the Booga Box. It is Thursday. Sorry we missed Tuesday. I had some issues. I was getting ready to do our stream, and we were going to do some laser video. And I went to hook up the other camera, and it was giving me problems. So I tried working it out. Couldn't get it figured out in time. Finally did get it all worked out. So we're back today. We're going with our normal stuff here, but yeah, it was an interesting Tuesday for sure, trying to get that all to work. And I've been trying to load up the system with Windows 11, so dual booting it, and it was screwing up things left and right. So we got it all worked out for today, so we're good there. We're going to be working on, well, anyway, the jelly cube's done. So I still got my little starter ring on there, but it's done, ready to go. And I had a pile of stuff that haven't quite finished up. We did some on streams. I didn't quite get them finished during the stream. Planned on doing them afterwards, and most of them I did, but I still had a little pile of stuff. Well, I had a couple things. This one was experimental. It's basically just European porn one, but I kind of graduated it. I hadn't seen anything like it, so I was playing with that. I finished it up today. Got a piece of round mail, stainless steel I'm going to finish up. I've got a, what do they call this? I've always called it a centipede, but I know it has a back, no, not back. Oh, man, I forgot what the name is right offhand. Like I said, I always called it a centipede when I first started building it, but that was before I knew names. If you watched me, a lot of things that I came up with that come to find out later, they'd already been made and had a name. I just kind of, before internet, realizing the internet would have chainmail on it. So, and this is a Turkish round. So we're going to finish those up today. I guess I was on the other camera for that Turkish round. So, but I do want to thank everybody if you're joining us live or if you're watching us later. Don't forget to give likes, shares, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Get us out there. I know my intro is still a little off. Actually, is my audio working? Okay, yeah, I think my audio is working. I didn't even check that. Oh, my intro there, I still have it saying Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, Thursday? Yeah. We're changing that up. Like I said, if you've been here the last couple weeks, we're going to do Tuesday, Thursdays at around 12:30 Central Time in the afternoon, early afternoon. See how that's going to work out. Right now, it's kind of working out pretty good because it's hot outside. Don't want to get out there and do stuff when it's all hot. If I can, get away with it anyway, so... Let's go ahead and flip over cameras, get some music going here. Background. And, oh, I'm still getting used to this new mouse that I got for doing this. We need to go to that camera. There we go. Now it's set. So, like I said, we're going to finish up this Turkish round that I worked on and just never got finishing it. Where am I at here? I guess that matter. Just need to get some rings out. It's a nice, easy weave, I think. Pretty fun. Actually, this is one Turkish round I have not built in stainless steel yet. So I think when I was going through my stuff today, I was like, man, that's one thing I still need to do. I don't have a Turkish round stainless steel piece that I can show off. I've got quite a few. I was checking my stainless steel supply or stock that I had of pre-made stuff already, and trying to get just a variety of the different weaves that I currently have in aluminum, and the other variety. I got some copper and stuff, so I'm trying to expand that and show that off. Okay, let's see here. I think that's trying to make sure I go in the right order. Now, I did have two pieces that I had in my little thing that were totally experimental. One of them I played with a little bit yesterday, and I could never get to the point that I liked it with the ring size, so it ended up, that one went into the junk mailbox. It'll get pulled out at some point in time, played around with again, but I played around with it a little bit yesterday. I just never liked where it was going, so it ended up going away. That other one I left upstairs. I did have another piece that I played with and took it upstairs, and I'm not sure if I like it yet or not. It's just a variation on a known weave. Nothing spectacular, but I was just trying to do something a little different with it. I'm not sure if I'm happy with it. My biggest thing, a lot of things whenever I try things like that, I want to make sure they're going to hold their shape, their weave. There's some out there that I've done that I really like the look of, but the weave will not hold itself together. And that absolutely drives me bonkers. I do not like a weave that has to be messed with to come together. You know, if it's a little bit where it's just kind of give it a quick shake. But, what was it? Coda, I think was one of them. I love the look of it, but the outside two rings want to plop on, and the center rings want to kind of, without pulling out the piece, they can flip around, and I just don't like it. So, that one I don't think I'm going to put that one in production unless I can find a better way of locking certain things in. And that's what I'm looking for now. Sometimes you can change up a weave just a little bit, and it changes the whole look and or locks things better in place. And it does change the look a bit, but it holds together. I'm trying to think, what one was that? We did it on stream a while back. I don't remember. Alright, red to black. Am I doing these the right way? No I didn't. Darn it. Yeah, I put them on wrong colors first. It's supposed to be blue then silver, dummy. And like anything here, you know, if you like any of these weaves and you want to just see something in a different color, drop me a line, and I don't mind sometimes making up some extra stock and special colors to get a look at. This one's in this color, actually. I do remember when I picked these colors. I just had extra of these colors. Not a ton, but I mean, actually, I guess I do in all honesty. I always have a lot of the blue for different things, but I do remember I was looking through and I was like, okay, we're going to do Turkish round. I know what ring size I needed. They are. And so then it was like, okay, let me see, what do I have? Where you at? There you are. I needed to see which rings I had more of, and I figured that's what I'd use to make it out of. Sometimes I do that because my hardest thing is picking colors. If you've ever watched any of my streams, you always hear me talk about picking colors. It drives me nuts. Because my main is red and gold. It's for my Chiefs and my high school. So, it's kind of been my colors for years and years and years. But hopefully everything's working on the stream well. I believe so. I am streaming. I had a knock at the door. I guess they're not used to the new streaming time. Whole house is kind of, like I said, we've been through, since Christmas, it's been a little crazy trying to get things going and settled in and figuring out our new schedules and how things are going to work. So, and this was actually, they just finished up the year. I did go for the band anyway. I didn't do the whole band year, but I did go to contests and got a lot of bands during contests. I'm still going to do what I can here and there, but the full-time kind of getting to every event is definitely past. And, you know, we've talked about that in past streams, and it kind of sucked. But in all honesty, now it was probably a good thing because so many other things have happened since then that it would have been hard to continue to do. So, but there is a little positive on the side of that too that we'll discuss here. I'm not sure when. Now that was right, correct? Yeah, there we go. Silver's laying the right way now. They're not silver, but what do you want, big boy? What do you want? Yeah. My big boy wants something. What do you want, buddy? I thought I gave you food. Well, I'm going to step away for just a second. Sorry, guys. What do you want, bud? You need some food? You got food. Yeah. He had some food, but he's very particular when it comes to his food. He's a crazy boy. To say the least. I didn't know if he wanted to go outside or not. I think the boy coming down and knocking kind of threw him off because he was just laying down here by my feet. That was one of the other things I wanted to do, was try to get a buzzy cam going so we could show him whenever he's kind of hanging out with me. If he's having a good day and wants to. Normally this time of the day he's just napping. But yeah, I think the door, whenever somebody comes down, and especially if they're going to go outside and stuff. Come on. Let go. Yeah, but I do like this Turkish round. I don't know why. It was one that I put off for a long time. I've got 3, 4 in stock right now in a variety of different colors. I don't remember what the colors were. This will make number 4 or number 5. I believe it'll be 5 though. I have been kind of liking it. I want to try. I need to figure out the ring size I need. I want to try some in 20 gauge, make it a real delicate piece in a way. I like working. I love the look of 20 gauge stuff, but it's just not as durable. Depending on the weave. Some weaves work out pretty good because you've got rings holding and helping, but other times it just doesn't seem to work out very well. A lot of doubles there. And actually, I'm hoping Tuesday we're going to actually start on a new inlay. I've got 2 that I'm probably going to kind of work on in a tie. I've got a laser etched scale tie I'm going to be doing. So I've got that one will be fairly quick. You know, I can get, and normally the scale ties can be done fairly quick, and etching them up's not a big deal, but I got 2 other inlays I'm going to get started on. I don't know exactly how I'm going to play them out yet, if I'm going to do a time lapse on it, because if I do a time lapse, it means we only go to the one camera with no extras around it, so I can not have any of that. So that I'm still debating on. I got to figure it out this weekend. I got a lot of stuff going on, well, at the end of this week and the weekend to prepare. We got bulk pickup, and I've talked to some people. Our bulk pickup for us around here is a little weird, but it takes about 6 to 8 weeks to get here. You gotta get lined up for it. It's kind of a pain. So I got a lot of stuff that's going out. When you have to plan it out like that. When I told my mom that when she used to live over in Kansas over there, they'd call up and within like a day or 2 they were there to pick something up that was big, but they also had drop-off points. We don't have any kind of drop-off points to take bulk things. You just have to schedule with them, and like I said, the earliest is normally 6 weeks. It depends on when you get in on their system, how things fall. Because I made our appointment for this bulk pickup for I want to say end of May, mid-May, May 20 something. I was like, I'm gonna have stuff, and that's what kind of sucks too. You have to kind of plan on what you want to have. So I always add extra in case, because I normally always kind of do, which again kind of sucks, but I got a lot of stuff going out. We got a lot of the construction wood from redoing the steps. I'm going to get as much as I can in that. They have limits on that, so got a lot of things I'll have to play on that front. And we've had a little sprinkling of rain here and there over the past like 3 weeks, but we've not really had a good real rain day in a while. We were supposed to have some storms yesterday. Got dark and cloudy. It actually sprinkled. I got hit with 4 sprinkles, and that was it. I could see a few spots around, but yeah, it was not very much at all. I was like, you know, and they had me all hyped up, man. They were like, thunderstorms coming through, be prepared, blah, 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 blah. And we got squat. It's kind of how the weather has been here lately. I'm always telling the kids, it's like, back in the old days. Let me get something to drink here. It's like our weather wasn't real accurate in the 70s. I remember kind of, 80s it actually seemed to improve a bit. And, into the early 90s it was like, you know what? Around here we actually had most of the stations had weather guarantees and this and that, and if they didn't hit it, then somebody'd win this or that. And I haven't seen that in years. Now, granted, I also don't watch a whole lot of news anymore, local news, for the most part. But it seemed like the mid-90s, they started coming out with new technology, computers. We can do this and do that. And now I think they have too much information, and now they don't know where to predict from. I will say the only thing they actually predict and get kind of right is the temperature within 24 hours. If it's over 24 hours, it can be a little spotty. And, if you go to the 5-10 day forecast, those are about pointless anymore. Within a day, all those change. We were supposed to be, I was seeing, well, actually today, I think we were supposed to be in the mid-70s, and that was like 4 days ago, and by the time we got today, we're going to be 90s again, so... Yeah, I don't believe anything they would say anymore. Weather's gotten, like I said, too many models, too many things they can't pick from anymore, and too much information I think sometimes is a bad thing. Because then it just clouds what's really there, in my mind. I don't know, I'm no scientist. But I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night. Kids drive my kids nuts with that. Or just me talking. Kids, they listen to parents. Though all my kids are old. My youngest now is, 24? 23, yeah. So, the oldest is 31. Just turned 31. All my kids' birthdays are done for the year. Let's see, I'm on the black now. Alright, flip over, flip under. I guess I should measure this. I know I need some more, though. The only thing I do hate about Turkish round mail is always the end. When you get to the end, because you're working in groups of threes, and, if you're working in something that's a group of four, you can easily put it in half. You're coming down to four, you can take it down to two, then you go down to one, put on your clasp. When you're working with three, there's no easy way to do that and make it necessarily look all that great, per se. There are a couple different things that I've kind of done. I'm not totally happy with them, but they get the job done. Then the best way I've found is to make up my own, like a treble hook type thing. If you've ever been fishing and got a treble hook, I'll hand wind 3 points, and I'll take the last one to go through those 3 points, and then those all curl up into 1 point. It's a pain in the butt, and they work again. I just don't necessarily like the look of them because I haven't got really proficient at wire bending. I practice and I try, and it is getting better. And with those, they're kind of small, so they're not super noticeable per se, but I do want to play with them a little bit more. I've been, John on here, he's a friend that comes through and checks out our stream from time to time. He was in a couple of wire bending groups, and he sent me along a couple things, and so I followed a couple of those, and I've been a lot of reading, a lot of watching when I get the chance to. Haven't had a whole lot lately, but like I said, hopefully everything's going to kind of get more into a groove here soon, and still kind of a crazy summer, trying to get grandkids have been here and there with daughters things and all that, so that hasn't necessarily helped matters any, but we do what we can do. It's like everything. I might get frustrated and PO'd at times, but at the end of the day, you just kind of have to let it go in a way. I don't necessarily, our wife would say, you don't let anything go. Like I said, to a degree. But You know, I've changed through the years. I've definitely changed. For the good or worse, I don't know about that. And I think the wife would say for the better. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, better for me too. But, you know, there's still things I'd like to change and things I wish I didn't have to change. But so is life when you're married with kids. Alright, back on some black here. Actually, where are we at here? I know I've still got some more to go. Yeah, I at least probably got 2 more inches. We're reading without class about 6.5 anyway, so I knew it was going to be short. I just kind of wondered where we would be. Because I was kind of hoping I'd get more of this done so I could work on the stainless while we were doing this, but I need to get my stainless box unburied. Because like I said, the previous, well, I guess it's been a while since I said it. I've been trying to work up all my stainless steel that I have bought through the years from different people. TRL. That was most of what I had anyway. I had some Josh stuff. That is in a separate area anyway. It's all the TRL stainless. I'm trying to go through because I've been making my own, and I just still had a lot of their stuff sitting around, and I was ready to get my own cut up and get it stored like I have been with all my normal rings and stuff. So hadn't been able to with everything else going on, so that's one of the next things. And like I said, I was hoping to have this one done so I could be getting into that by now, but did have a few extra little things I wanted to take care of today. And my wife wanted some help with some she's putting a tent up on the, well, what do you want to call this? I guess it's a tent, but just a cover to block the sun on the deck. I've got an old tent that first tent I actually ever bought for events. It was just a crappy cheap tent. Well, granted, at the time it wasn't super cheap. Now you can pick them up for like $50, but crap top, you know. But it did the job. It got us by for the first, I think it was first year and a half, 2 years probably, before I got a good one. It's still not the best out there, but it's decent enough. I like it. I'd like to have something a little better and a little bigger. Well, not necessarily bigger either, but though some events I would like to have a bigger one. That is true. I mean, and then in a way I kind of need it smaller, but most of the time when I need a smaller place where the dimensions are odd, it's inside, so you don't have a tent to worry about. But I still kind of miss a lot of events. I've noticed indoor, they're going smaller sizes for the same price, and most people, I don't know, I'm always mixed when I'm setting up. I see a lot of people set up their events where their stuff's on the outside and people just walk around the outside of the tent and you're kind of in the center of the tent. I normally set up my tents where people kind of come into it. So I mean, there are pluses and minuses to both those setups, I think. Because there are some people that don't like to come inside a tent. They'll see the stuff on the outside. If something catches their eye, they'll come in. If it's all on the outside, you'll get more lookers at them, I think. Biggest thing is, though, when you set up, you get a 10 by 10, but you're right next up to somebody, you're basically only got that front 10-foot row where you're at if you don't allow a setup for coming in. So it kind of limits me when like I said, this year I'm going to be using grid walls on 2 different sides. I ended up buying 8 more grid walls because I've got different hangers for some of my necklaces and stuff now that I haven't actually got pictures of, because the last event we were going to use them at last year when we all got sick, we weren't able to do. So coming up Saturday 29th, I think, of this month, we'll be down in Smithville, downtown Smithville. If you're local, head down, check us out. We'll be down there with everything. The only thing I'm not sure if I'm going to get brung with me, whatever one. I don't think Kelsey's going to make it. I haven't had a chance to fully redo his eyes that I'm happy with anyway. Just recently kind of started getting him looked at again to see exactly where I want to make the changes, because I had to put him up because everything else was going on. But anyway, that's 29th of this month. It's Saturday, last Saturday of the month. That's all I know is this event's always the last Saturday of July. We'll be down there. After that, I still have got a few kind of in the pre-works. I don't know exactly dates yet. I haven't got them fully set up and okayed with. Actually, I think it was this weekend. There was one I was hoping to get to in Platte City, but that one didn't pan out. It's kind of a bummer, but I'm trying to make sure I've got a, with the wife's health issues now, I have to make sure I've got a helper that can help me. So my youngest has been helping me. Again, when I say youngest, she's 23. So she's got her life of her own going on too, so I don't want to bug her too much with that, but I have to kind of, I don't want to do too many things. I want to try to I want to do, for the most part, one a month. During October, November, December, I'd like to do 2, maybe 3 a month, would be my goal. But, I need to go the other way. It is a little bit limited in a way on that, because, I need help with things. And I'm also getting older, because I was actually thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know how many more years I've got in me setting up and going to events. It's getting harder every year. The wife used to help with me when we first started doing this, and she hasn't been able to help me for a little while now because of her health issues, and mine are not going to improve. I'm not going to magically just start getting younger, so I am thinking about that kind of in a way, and I need to promote my online stuff a little more. But as you know, I'm always the last guy to try to promote me. I hate it. I hate it. Feel like it feels so narcissistic talking about myself and doing this and that. That's why I only normally post to some of the chainmail Facebook stuff with something that's extremely new, different. I'm glad to see everybody that posts all their stuff, don't get me wrong, but when you see the same thing over and over and over again so many times, I don't want to post that in there too, even though, I like seeing those people doing it. A lot of people do it as a hobby. The only thing that does kind of blows, I haven't been able to really look a whole lot lately. I used to try to answer questions and stuff when people had them, and I just hadn't had a whole lot of chances to do that most of my time. When it's going to be online stuff, it's my own online, because I'm actually trying to update my website also. I need to get my PHP updated, and it's being a pain in the butt to get everything to work right. So that's another thing I got to sit down and get taken care of. But the next couple weeks, I need to get ready for this event, so I've got a lot of stuff to do. Some of it's outside, so I can get the trailer ready. It's kind of buried in crap wood from changing out the steps of the deck, so I got to get that stuff taken care of. It's been a multi-process thing for the past 2-3 months. I'll have one project in mind, but to do that project, half of another project needs to be done. So I'll get working on that half of that project, and it's like, oh, well, what was that video? I seen some video where it was like somebody was going to change the light bulb. Went to change the light bulb, but they got to a drawer that was sticky or something. So they ended up working on the sticky drawer. And I think it was a comedian style thing, because it was like 5 or 6 things that they kept doing, but when they'd go to get something to do that step, they'd have to do another step to fix that step. And that by the end of it, there were all these new projects. They're all done. The only thing that never got fixed was changing the light bulb, and I guess it was the wife that wanted the light bulb changed, and she yells at him for not getting the light bulb changed or something like that. And it was kind of funny, it ends up being kind of true. I don't know how many things I'll end up going into wanting to do, but to do that, I got to do 2 other things, It's kind of like that with all my chainmail. I've got so many things I want to do, but to do that, I need to get this done, I need to get that done. Command screen here, yeah, probably a little over and low, but I think everything's working good. I'm not seeing any red anywhere, so hopefully we're doing good. I haven't had any comments today, but like I said, where are we at? Are we half hour in? Yeah, we are half hour in, so I do want to do my mid-spiel saying thank you for anybody that has joined us, or if you're watching us later, don't forget to give a like, thumbs up, shares, all that good stuff. I know people are out there, and Like I said, I'm still doing stuff all the time. Here lately, it's all been mostly just orders only. But this week, now that I got the deck done and some stuff outside, I still got a lot of work to do. But I'm going to get a little more time in here and get some other experimental things that I've been working on, some other things that, there's one thing my wife has bugged me about. I have mentioned it a long time ago when I first started doing streams. I'm not going to bring it up again because I really don't want to say much of it till I get it done, but it's something I've been wanting to work on. Finally did pull out a little bit and got a little bit of work done. Not exactly where I wanted to on the project, kind of went to the other side. Not, didn't plan on necessarily going there, but I needed something a little different to think about than where I was because the things I was working on weren't working out for it, and that's why that project went to the side for a long time. I mentioned it, well, I guess I will say, when I mentioned it when I first started doing streams, but this is a project that, the first part of the project I did probably 6-7 years ago now, and it's hanging up here. I'm not going to pull it down either because it might give it away in a way, but like I said, the wife always asked me about it because what I'd done, she was like, man, that is cool. And I guess one thing I don't do when it comes to chainmail, if I find it, well, I do after the fact. If there's things I want to, I'm working on a chess set, making the actual chess pieces. Now, and I know there are people out there that have done chess pieces. I don't want to go look them up whenever and this goes with a lot of other things. I don't want to look it up right then, immediately, because I'm afraid what I see might clout what I'm doing, per se. I don't want to copy somebody else's design. If I see something going, hey, cool, I could easily do that, I don't want to just copy it. Now, I have done other things when I've seen things and ends up being pretty much like it. Didn't realize, it was almost exact and whatnot, just because, I didn't know how they did it or whatever. So, I love looking at chainmail stuff, but I also hate looking at chainmail stuff. And that is the reason, because when I look at so much of it, whenever I do something, if I think it's new, then I have to look it up, see if somebody's already done something like it. And that can be a pain in the butt too, but, so many people have done a lot of chainmail. There are a lot of things that I have not seen out there that I've done. I've given away a few of them. But there are a few other things that I don't talk about online or anything like that. If you come to an event, you will see something a little strange that if you've only seen my stuff online, yeah, there's definitely things at events that you won't see online. So I'll just kind of leave it there. It's not like I'm trying to keep secrets or anything, but there are a few things, that I just kind of... That's why at first I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the chainions, because nobody else had those, anything like it, when I did them. And so at first I didn't want to put them out there, but I ended up making a tutorial and doing all that. But there are some things like that. If you come to one of our events, that you'll definitely see some things that you haven't seen on Facebook or on our website. I always keep a few things hidden back for the people that come and want to enjoy the time at the Booga Box events. Gotta have a little something special for you. A little something different. And granted, not saying that some of these things might not, other people might have done some of these things. Some of these things, I know they haven't. And there are other people that have done them too. But they were kind of cider things. I don't know how I want to necessarily put that, because like I say, if I'm ever looking up chainmail stuff, I see pictures, I save the pictures, and I come back. That's how I've learned most of my weave, is just by saying, hey, that's a cool picture, save it, come back, try to figure out how to work it in, and all that. So, where are we at now? Probably haven't made it very far. It takes a lot of rings with Turkish round. We're at 7.5 on that. Yeah, probably need another good inch to get up to mine. Normally I use my wrist. Yeah, I get 8 inches for my wrist. If it fits my wrist, that's 8 inches normally. I still measure and do all that, but I'll put it on a oh, there it is. I was wondering where my bracelet size it was. But for quick references, I always just test my wrist real quick. I know, and then if I'm making something for the wife, I know to go super snug on my wrist. If it's something that I have a hard time clasping, because it's just, if I gotta put it on real tight, it fits her well. But actually, that was last year. With her issues now, I'd probably have to make it quite a bit smaller, to be honest with you. It's something I haven't made it anything new for her lately, because I've all been sick, trying to get into this new schedule of stuff, but we'll pull down the sizer when we get there. Actually, I need to size this one still, see where I'm at, because I believe I'm in where I need to be, but I haven't tested this one. I know I need to go. This is so fat and everything. It's got a bit more to go on it, so. And where we at? See, on to frost. Let me get some more frosty rings out here. So like I said, yeah, hopefully next Tuesday we'll come back. We're going to hopefully be working on a bit of a inlay. I've got the starts at least of both. Right? Yeah. But I still need it. I need to, well, actually no. I need to fully finalize the other thing I'm working on. We'll eventually show and say what they are once we kind of get a little further into them. Normally I like to keep that stuff back for a little bit, see if anybody can pick it out. Normally I give enough hints that somebody figures it out pretty quick, or I'll be stupid enough to say something when I'm not working on it. I've done that several times. At least when we were doing the Monday, Wednesday, Thursday thing, you know, it was different days, we were doing different things. Right now I don't have a plan for like a schedule of, you know, small project, medium project, large project. It's kind of what we did when we were doing it before. As always, Mondays, you know, was a medium Monday project. Thursdays was our inlay. Wednesdays was a project that we could hopefully finish up within the hour. Actually, this is where that one started, and this took a little bit longer, so we never got it finished during the stream. And I planned on finishing it up afterwards, and it got put in the pile. I've got a little wooden tray that I'll put things that I'm working on when I need to set them to the side because I got something else going on and need the space for this or that. And that's where this ended up piling up. And like I said, I had 7 things in there. 2 of them went to junk mail. We got 4 out here. Oh, and the other one, yeah, that I took upstairs. So, yeah. So we're going to, hopefully by the end of the day, I'll get all these finished up. I can get them priced up and put in stock. Well, actually, almost. I guess I got some things I need to move around over there in the storage room area to get to my stock of that. As a storage room has been kind of a little crazy here lately because I've been needing this, I've been needing that. Oh, for different things, so it's been kind of a madhouse over there. I know the boy's been complaining. Every time I need to go do this, I gotta move that. It's like, welcome to adulthood. You've now been indoctrinated. Welcome. And he's been doing pretty good. You know, if you haven't seen her personally, he went into kidney failure years ago now, and about 3 years ago he got a transplant, and he's doing pretty good on that. So he's had a few little hiccups here and there, but overall it's been pretty good. I think he's starting to get back to semi-normalness because he was on dialysis for 4 years. That was insane. That's you know, it's always something that it seems like. But again, like I said, what can you do? You just got to deal with it. And there was a lot of, you know, days that sucked. And there are going to be more to come, I'm sure. But wife's issues have kind of settled down a little bit. She still has days that kind of just, you know, I can't even try to fathom the things she has to go through with it, but you know, we still have to deal with our own things here too, so it might not be the pain that she has to feel, but there's still a lot of things we got going on. So alright, enough of that. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know when, there will be like I said, I've got this thing coming up. I don't know if I'm not actually supposed to talk about it or not. There are some people that kind of know, but they were kind of in this small circle of things. It's kind of an odd thing for me. Nothing really chainmail related, but it's still a little something, and hopefully I'll be able to talk about it here at some point here soon. For sure by October. I mean, that's still a little bit away, but yeah, it was a little bit crazy. Still feel a little bit odd, but we'll talk about that at some point. And that's one of the projects we're going to do. Is kind of relating to that. So once we get into it more, you probably hear a little bit more as the summer goes along. And yeah, but it could be a quick summer because I was already surprised. I'm like, we're in July, mid-July. Well, not necessarily mid-July. Let's say 13th. So not mid-July, but I mean we're already starting to get into July. Jeez. And I was just, I was thinking about band stuff. Band camps are going to start up here soon. Last year, first year, I didn't do a band camp. Didn't actually go to any band camp at all. I did plan on going one day because I was going to talk to the director and let them know I think it was time for me to step away and all that. All kinds of weirdness happened and wasn't able to get up there, so we had to go on the phone, which totally sucked. But, I was in band camp starts up here on the 20-something like that on a Monday. I don't think, maybe it is this next Monday. Is it really? No, I think it's the following Monday. But yeah, I was like, man, band camps are starting up already. And basically, it was about a year ago, mid-July, when I did. Actually, it was the end of July because it was first. Well, I was debating it for mid-July on what I was going to do for that following band season. And it wasn't until band camp just started when I was like, you know what, I need to go meet with the band director and tell him everything, blah, blah, blah. And so that's where that all went. So yeah, it's been about a year since I decided to step away from doing the band stuff. And I definitely miss it in ways, and other ways I don't, it's kind of nice not having to worry about doing the band website anymore, though there were so many things I wanted to do with it, and none of the, there was always a turnover of band parents because you got presidents coming in all the different times, through the years, so you got different people you're working with. Some wanted to do some cool stuff. I'm like, okay, let's work on this and that, and then by the time things start working out, they're moved on, and another one comes in, they're like, no, I don't want to do that. And this time they decided, I don't know, it's been like 15 years, they didn't want to do the website anymore. Actually, I guess it's been almost closer to 20, because it would have been, I took over, I've been doing it since 10. So I did it for 12 years, and it was around at least 3-4 years before that, if not longer. But, when it come down to it, it was more getting the runaround on that kind of drove me nuts. It's like, if you guys don't want to keep it, that's perfectly fine. Just let me know. Don't give me the runaround. I ended up spending some extra money, wasting some money because I was getting the runaround. That was part of the reason why I was like, okay, I want to help out as much as I can, but if I'm not getting answers to questions that need to be answered, I don't want to deal with that. I've had a few years where I've had to deal with some different band parents. I've dealt with them. Everybody's been great. Sometimes you have this or that, but I was like, I'm not going to go through another season of headaches like that. So it was time to move on. Like I said, it ended up sucking in a way because I missed it, and sucking in a way because it was probably a good thing because I wasn't going to be able to be at stuff like I used to be. But in that, that correlates to the wife getting sick and this and that. But, it is what it is. I definitely do miss it. But like I said, I did go back. I went back for marching contest where all the district gets together and all the 4 high schools show off their show to each other. I go there and I get video of that. I still want to do that, plan on doing that. And then contest. Normally I just go for contests to listen to the district bands, maybe get video of all of them. But this past year I actually got there and I was like, you know what? The director, Miss Mitchell, she's awesome. Our oldest went to her. She went to that school for her. And she offered to let me have an area all to myself, and so I ended up taping all the bands that I could. First day I missed the first 3, and the second day I missed the first 2. But then I got all the other bands. So, I mean, that was kind of nice. I did have several days. It was kind of a good little, at the time, that was back in April. It was kind of a nice little break. Things were kind of starting to settle in. It was nice to be able to kind of go there and just hang out, listen to bands for a while, because I hadn't been able to do it. And so many years I've hear bands all the time because I'm at practices, I'm at concerts, contests, or this and that. And this year was the first year I wasn't at so much stuff. It was kind of missing it. I did watch some YouTubes of bands and stuff, but and there were all good bands and everything, but I still wanted to help out and listen to my old band and the ones that I've been helping out. So, seeing those kids. I might not have been a band teacher, but I did get to see a lot of kids move through band and all their improvements through all their 4 years of school. I mean, I had several different classes for 12 years. I got to see graduate, and a lot of them I've seen for 4 years get to graduation. Watching them during marching competitions, because I'm watching so much video, I could point out so many kids to you who's great marchers, who needs some work, and even when it comes to playing, when we're doing taping of those, I can. My daughter thinks I'm crazy, but I can kind of, in my brain, whenever I'm listening to music, I can turn off certain parts. So if I'm wanting to hear a certain part, I can tune out a lot of stuff and listen to that part. And so I do that a lot with a lot of things. Plus, I've seen a lot of these kids practicing solos and trios and quartets and all that. Even back when my kids were doing it, I would go see other kids. Now I don't want to be a weirdo, and I don't know you, but I'm just going to come here and listen to you. Though people do that at solo and contest time. I mean, there are a lot of people that just show up in rooms to listen to other kids, or they're showing up because they get their kids in the next. And I kind of enjoyed that. It was kind of fun, just listening to a variety of different music. So I love music. Always have. Doesn't matter. I mean, I like all types of music for the most part too. Like I said, on my playlist, I can go from Mozart to Metallica, Half a Heartbeat. But then I'll go in the middle and give me some Weird Al in the middle, and I'll live with that all day. I love my Weird Al. Sorry. How was the Big Bang Theory? I don't know. There's some show where they were saying that, and they were like, "How old are you?" Because he liked Weird Al, and I'm like, I grew up on Sunday nights listening to Weird Al when I wasn't supposed to, because we weren't supposed to be up that late, number one. And Dr. Demento show played some crazy stuff back then. And that's where I first started with Weird Al. I've only been to, the crazy thing is, I mean, I love Metallica too. I've been to a couple Metallica concerts. Been to an AC/DC concert. Been to a couple Amy Grant concerts. Garmo and Key concerts. Been, again, that's a variety. And I've been to several. I mean, Kansas City symphonies, wind ensembles, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, I've been to a variety of different things. Love them all. I like all kinds of music. Wish I was kind of doing something in music, but it's not where my life took me. Somehow it took me to chainmail. Still don't get that, but I still had to have fun doing other things too. So where we at in our time? We're at 50 minutes. We're doing pretty good. Let's see here. I think we're good on our length that way. A little loose, so it's probably a little over 8 by the time we put it together. On here, I'm at 8 3/4 without latch. It's about right. Now. Alright, now see, here's when I say this is trying to figure out this closing. How do I want to close this up here? I always hate these things. Because if you go 2, you're going to have one that's a little floppity. I'll put a couple in here and show you. See if I can show what I'm trying to explain here when it comes to trying to close up a round mail, things that are in odd numbers. And again, these are like groups of 3, so it makes it the odd. And so you put up 3 here, you're going to put 2 or 1 through 2 here, 1 through one of them, those to connect this one, then you have the other one that goes through this one and that one. So you end up with 3 at the end. You go with 2, but then it looks lopsided. I will say it's easier to do this when you're working in a solid color. Like if it was just, I haven't done Turkish mail in stainless steel, but I have done round mail several times in stainless, in bright aluminum, solid color stuff. It's a lot easier to do it then because it's not as noticeable when you got to shrink down. Because when I only put 2 in here, you'll definitely be able to see that there is only 2 rings. You'll see that other one missing. So once I shrunk down 1, so now I could fold it over and then just have 1, and that would be my end. But again, I'll try to show. It's kind of hard to see it in the camera, and I probably need to zoom in a little bit because I'm building everything the same way, but I'm just reducing by 1 ring. But see how these are now flopping out? They would want to stay closed. Only way they stay closed is if I put another ring in there, but then all of a sudden I'm 3 to 1. And then that 1 ring is also not going to have a ring that I'm currently going through to hold it. So that's the issue with doing these, and that's why I like using the treble hook idea, where I'm making just 1 piece of wire. It comes down. Basically, you're doing 1. You're coming up and bringing it back down. You curl to make another loop and come back up. So it's like coming down each side is a double wired row. And then when you come up, you go across the top. Then you make your final loop at the top, and you just got 1 there. Like I said, it does the job this way, but I just don't like how those open up. Though I think I'm just going to go ahead and just put that on there like that for now, so I can get a sizing. Putting on the other one, normally when I double this up, because the treble hook things end up being about 2 3/16. I guess if I did math, I could figure that out, but you know what I mean. So, let's see about where we're at. Get on there. There we go. And we're at, about 8. Yeah, a little bit bigger than I thought. About 8.5, almost 8.25, right in between there. So, about where I'd want it. Like I said, I try to make everything a little over 8, around 8, because most things I can shrink up. But see, you get the nice pattern all the way around, so you get to that end. And if you just do a single, or you come down 1 each time, you get this one that wants to flop open. It doesn't look bad, but to me, it drives me nuts. And I have seen some. Oh, come back. My mouse went dead. Oh, there it is. I have seen some. Why didn't it flip? There it goes. Some that are pre-made that are 3-into-1, but they're got like clasp covers over them. You're supposed to use them for like some type of weaving, metal weaving bands, or like a nylon band. The people that make up the nylon threaded bands and stuff like that. But then you glue that thing over the top of your bunch that comes in, and then it has the one on the end. And that's another thing I don't want to do. I don't like using glue in my stuff. That's one reason why I haven't done a whole lot of the barrettes, butterfly and flower barrettes. Because you put rings on to hold them, but then you also use some glue to hold the clip part on, and I don't like that. I've tested it, and for me, they seem like they break too easy. I don't wear them in my hair, so I don't know how much force that kind of thing takes. Normally, my wife is my muse, per se. I give her things to test out, see how they're going to work. She doesn't wear barrettes and hair, things like that anyway, for the most part, so I never really had anybody to test those things out on. It's me playing with them when I'm done, going, I just don't feel like they're going to hold up. Now, people sell them all the time. They must hold up well. People buy them. I should probably just do them. But it's still one of those things. If I don't feel comfortable with it, I hate putting them out there. There are a few things that there's a few that are on the edge of things, but then I'm like, I always tell everybody, everything I do, if you ever buy anything from me, if you bought anything from me in the past, I guarantee everything. So even if it's aluminum, and I don't want to say if you went out there with a hammer just to break it, I wouldn't cover that. But I would try to work with you at least, And I've had a few things that need to be repaired. But for the most part, things have been working out pretty good, and that's where I try to keep it. Normally you definitely don't have to worry about that if you're doing something in stainless steel. I mean, this is budded stainless steel, but this, I could yank on this forever, and I would probably barely even bend a ring, if that. And when you weld these up, yeah, they ain't coming apart. I actually warn people when I use any of my welded stuff, I'll tell the people, this is all welded. This is not coming apart. If it's on your wrist and something grabs this bracelet, your wrist is going to break off before this bracelet breaks apart. And that is pretty much the truth. I mean, there's some, you might break a weld here or there under weird extreme circumstances, but the thing, and I have offered it to people that I'll make a couple that are not welded, a couple links that are not welded, so there is a break point. That might be the safer way to go on some of them. I just, some people want to have that full solid rigidity. Others, so that's why I just make up all the weaves. Everything can be custom made. Do you want it welded? Do you want it this? Do you want it that? We can deal on that. And the price, between the non-welded and welded, there's going to be a price difference in that. But when it comes to other things, that the weave in this color, and several other colors you want to do, if you want a different color, it's not going to change the price of it. Now, if you want it in stainless steel, that's obviously going to change the price. If you want it in copper, again. If you want it welded, again. So, but anyway, we're coming up on our hour, so we're probably going to go ahead and start ending up, closing. Now, I don't have to stick around an hour on these. I can go longer. If we start getting more people during these afternoon sessions, and there's jibber jabber going on and that and this, and at night I normally had to cut off at a certain time because I had the cat's ordeal I had to go through. During the day like this, I don't have a big thing. I don't have the cat's shots. I don't have cat's medicines to do. Like I said, normally starting right after the stream before it was immediate cat stuff by 10 o'clock before I finally stopped after the stream. So during the day, it can be a little different. So if we're working on something longer and we get more people and we're in here chatting, doing this or that, we could go longer. I'm not planning on going outside anyway when it's hot like it is. So that's the other reason why moving to the afternoon. It seemed to kind of work out during the summer here where I'm not out there. And normally I'm not even trying to go out there because I'll go out there for 5 minutes, start sweating and just drenched. And, I'm okay in the heat per se. I don't like heat and sun. And right now, everything that I work in back here is all covered in sun. Not till about 3:30 in the afternoon. Then it kind of starts shading up, and then I can get back out and do stuff. So, and then that kept me out there till 8 or 8:30 when I'm starting to stream at 7:30 at night. So again, another reason. But anyway, I do want to thank you all for joining me. If you watch us live or if you're watching this later, I do appreciate it. Don't forget to drop a quick line if you want. And just say hi, thumbs up, shares, all those good things. Get us out there. You can follow us on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Find one of those that you like. Hit the notifications icons on any of those so you can see when we're going live. But like I said, every Tuesday and Thursday now at 12:30 in the afternoon Central Daylight Time is when we're going to do our stream. So today is Thursday, so we won't be back till Tuesday. But hopefully we'll be back, and we'll be back going into another inlay. So y'all have a great weekend. Hope you all had a great week already. And we'll check y'all out next Tuesday. Peace.